The residents of this emblematic building in the center of Barcelona will no longer be expelled from their homes.
Casa Orsola has become a symbol of the struggle for rents and, above all, of the confrontation of neighbors of farms that have been bought by investment companies.
The struggle of the neighbors of the Orsola house in the example district began at the end of 2021, when the estate was acquired by the Lionel Inversions Investment Fund that showed its intention not to renew the contracts.
There were tenants. There are still tenants with modest old rents, but there are also tenants with market rents, who may be paying between 700 and 1,000 euros. Some new rents, as the neighbors have been able to check in portals and asking the new tenants, would be 2,500 euros up.
The eviction attempts arrived at the Orsola house at the beginning of 2025. The first was that of Josep Torra, a teacher who had been living in the building for 22 years, and who was postponed due to the great social mobilization. The case of this building came to the city ombudsman, who offered himself as a mediator between the tenants and the owner of the estate, and also to the Barcelona City Council, which has ended up taking over this property through a collaborative purchase, with which the permanence of the neighbors is ensured.
It is an unprecedented way in which the City Council buys from the hand of Habitat 3, which is a foundation that is dedicated to social rent, and they have paid almost halfway the 9.2 millions that the farm has bought, and the idea is that it manages the social flats.
It is a shame that this attitude is rewarded with partly public money, which is to buy buildings to drive out neighbors. During this process, the landlord fund assures that it has suffered criminalization and insists that although it has not accepted the agreement proposed by the unions, it did offer others to the tenants who negotiated individually. This case has highlighted one of the problems of the housing crisis, the expulsion of neighbors for seasonal rentals, most destined for tourist use, which evade the regulation of rent.
And all this is happening in a modernist building, especially spectacular, in the center of Barcelona, in one of the areas that have been remodeled, which is affecting the middle classes. It is no longer a matter of vulnerable neighbors.
The tenants of this property have won the battle, but there are many other houses left alone in danger.